my friends. So let it ring out first, and we are live. I hope this time it will work better than last time, where I had some trouble getting the live streaming set up. This is my third stream ever, I think. Hello, Night Writer, and Florent, a regular member of the forum, is here too. It says in my live dashboard on YouTube that the current bitrate is lower than recommended, so let me know if you hear any issues, especially with the audio. Alright, so now let's get into what this stream is all about. So I will close my SoundCloud and get to the forum. Let's see if I can bring it up on screen like so, and now I can finally change this. I have two monitors here, so alright, so now I can see you guys in the chat. Well, this stream is about the Ambient Music Contest that ran for the month of October. Had to check. The members in the forum that got 10 or more hearts during the month were picked to be part of this final contest, or the poll basically, where you members, all of you, get to vote on. This time we had more entries, so as you can see it's like 12 or something, and you simply, if you're a member, if you aren't a member yet, just join for free, forum.professionalcomposers.com, go to the pinned post here, poll Ambient Music Contest, and then we're going to listen to all these entries. Jap, David, Phil, Florent, and a bunch of others that made an entry for this month's competition. And afterwards, you get to vote on your favorites. So I set it up to be 3 to 5 favorites. You can pick 3 to 5 of these favorite entries and vote for them. So let's just get started right away. And if anyone is watching that hasn't introduced himself or herself, write something in the chat and let's have some communication there as well. All right, let's start by listening to Jap Visser, Enchanted Nights. All right, so I just had to let it ring out because it was. You really need to with that beautiful atmosphere. So I know, or at least I believe I know that Jap said he used a ancient Persian duduk for the lead melody. I found that this is so ambient music is as all styles of music like a range from like a gradient basically, and this is perhaps not super like new age ambient cloudy stuff, but more I got more, especially from the duduk and lead and this atmospheric vibe. I got more of the gladiator underscore scenes basically. In fact, Hans Zimmer used a duduk instrument in that score, that I know for a fact. So really well done. Is Jap in the stream, by the way? If you are, please greet the chat and let us know your personal creative vision for this track. Any insights you can share. But I'll just go ahead and play David Olofsson's this second entry here. Hello, I'm not sure I can pronounce your name. Violau, sorry, from Brazil. David Olofsson's Purple Waves. I think, David, you had 2 entries actually. And this one was actually for another scoring contest, but written this month. So, according to the rules, you are allowed to have that as well. David Olofsson, Purple Waves. Interesting. That you ended with like 30 seconds of ocean ambience as well. Yeah, I pretty much said some stuff already about the track here. So, what? Because I have such a short memory, I need to like take a look at my notes here. Well, yeah, it had a really interesting harmonic beginning, and that arpeggio, like either I think of the Final Fantasy most classic arpeggio ever, or I also got some from, since you had that 70s style synth lead with the arpeggio and the atmospheric vibe. I recently watched the Carl Sagan series, whatever it's called, the space, universe series. And I got those vibes as well from this track. And also interesting that he used an electric bass, of course, on some synth sub. Hello, E-Studio Piano Sound. Welcome to the chat. Are you a member of the Professional Composers Forum? If you are not, we are actually listening into the takes here, or entries for the Ambient Music Contest of October. And this was the second entry, David Olsen, Purple Waves. So we've already listened to Jap here, and we're going to go through each of these, and then you guys get to vote here, and just pick your 3 to 5 favorites of all these entries. And I will close this sometime early next week, and the winner will get Output Movement, I think, plus one of my courses. Hello, Lazy Pixel. Didn't you enter? Got time to join the contest. I thought you had an entry. All right. Anyway, there's lots of good stuff in here. So, Phil Jones, are you in? So if you have anything to say about the tracks, I find that it's not only me that want to give feedback. I would love to hear what you guys think, because no one's opinion is better than another one's. So let's continue with Phil Jones, and he had a YouTube video for this. So beneath the title Flow. Whoops. Play again. right, so that was Phil Jones, Beneath the Tidal Flow. Very ambient composition. Lots of rich soundscapes that goes like in and out, like ebb and flow. So Beneath the Tidal Flow is a good title. Yeah, a lot of mystery as well. I agree, Florent. So this is what I call a truly ambient composition. You really don't have a lead to hook onto. There's really no rhythm going on. So this is really on the gradient side that is super ambient, whereas there are some tracks that are ambient but more like chill, atmospheric that we have listened to so far. So what's going on in the chat, my friends? How has your weekend been? Did you do any work or something interesting, like for fun? I'm actually working a bit on my next course, which will be what I call dark music, but that covers, in my opinion, at least the way I use the label, dark is all kinds of tension, but no one searches for tension music, so I just decided to call it dark, which can be anything from Darth Vader evil to sinister, like killer, psychopath, thriller kind of vibes. Hello, Joseph. Glad to have you in the stream here. I think you had an entry, didn't you? Didn't you have an entry? I thought so. Yeah, so I actually have two very different compositions that I will use and show behind the scenes. One of them being, I think, the one I played in the beginning of the stream. Sorry for the scrolling here. Which was the Evil Hell Parade, I think I called it, something like that. Yeah, I will post that on Udemy later. So, but I'm just like analyzing, because I also want to analyze some of the more famous, or in my opinion at least, dark music, so tension music compositions, and like analyze what is really going on that makes the music have so much tension in it. And there are lots of various aspects of this, and it's not as easy to say like, oh, just use semitones or the like diabolic tritone or something like that. It's a lot more to it, like the sounds, the harmonic shiftings and variations, the rhythms, in fact. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. Have you been working on any music this weekend, anyone? Florent, here your entry comes next. Nebula, is that the correct pronunciation? I just think of Star Trek when I read such things. All right, here we go. Wow, super spacey kind of sound, which of course suited the title. I really loved what you did here, Florent. So you mentioned first of all that did they say all the sounds were from hardware synths? Yeah, and that is super unusual these days. I really like the bell sound and mostly the slow sweeping movement and also in stereo space. So sounds went sweeping like waves left and right. Both, even the bell I heard, but more importantly the pads and string sounds. And that I think suits ambient music a lot, like the slow movement, not the rapid rhythmic stuff, but think of the ambient music. At least this is how I think of ambient music. Include lots of waves, because that really creates that softness in the sound that you want for this kind of music. Right, do have Adrienne in the stream. We're up to 16 viewers. This is like the most I have had, even if it's like my third or fourth stream ever. But anyway, that's really cool. Welcome everyone that hasn't introduced yourself in the chat. Please do so, because I like to know where you're from, what you do for music, and so on. And let's connect here. So this is, if you haven't learned this yet, this is the ambient music contest that we are reviewing all the entries for, give some feedback on, and then you guys get to vote here, up here. So if you go to forumprofessionalcomposers.com, I believe you will have a link in the chat right now, and then just vote here, pick your 3 to 5 favorites of these entries we are going through. Where are we? We are at Adrienne Earnshaw. Are you in the chat? Let me know what your creative visions were for this track, and playing in 3, 2, 1. Apparently not, because YouTube wants some time to prepare. All right, cool. That was Adrienne Earnshaw, Under the Stars. So I got more like this classic synth electro pop with atmospheric / ambient vibe, because this had a beat going on in the like an underlying groove, and also it had more of an apparent lead, even though it was kind of a soft sound. Cool bass line, I liked that one. And I think with less reverb, this could actually work with some vocals on top. Right, so that was Adrian's take. Now we're on to David Olofsson's second entry for this contest, actually, which he said he made for an 8-dial score challenge, and it doesn't really matter because he followed the rules, so he can have it entering this contest as well. So let's take a listen. He has a video on this as well. Oh, again, I had to play it twice. Right, David, really nice job on the cello, which you said in the chat here that you actually recorded yourself for this track. First recording ever, well, recording ending up in a composition, I assume you mean. I wanted to post my final comment here in the chat, because I found that, first of all, the track starts very soft and ambient, but then it starts with that crazy little synth line, which has a very unique character in the sound. So to me it felt like the track was building, and like what it's like what waiting for something, like it wants to go into the power section, the chorus or something, but then it didn't, because it's not a trailer track, obviously. Perhaps I'm just so brainwashed from listening to lots of music that builds and builds in intensity, which of course an ambient music track really shouldn't. This goes on the other scale, closer to what I call atmospheric or melodic atmospheric music, not really super fluffy cloud music. By the way, I love both, but I mean, this is less ambient, if I could say so. But I love that composition. Let's see what you said. Like, did you get like instructions? Okay, so you were to use 8-diode libraries. Apart from the cello and synth, all of it was from 8-diode. Do you have lots of 8-diode? I don't think I have anything yet from 8-diode. All right, so Ben, were you in the chat? We're continuing with Fields of Joy by Ben Beard now. But guys, please connect with me in the chat while we listen, so we hang out at the same time. Playing now. All right, so that was Ben Beard's Fields of Joy. very beautiful, and more importantly, I found it like nostalgic, romantic in style. And actually, the name Fields of Joy, I was picturing like a happy family, like two parents with two kids, perhaps on a green grassy field on summer, having a picnic or something. In slow motion, the camera moves, and you hear this underscore, really beautiful. The only thing I would object to personally is the ending, which felt like you have like that drop, which is great for action music and trailers and stuff. But it was too abrupt of a change because it dropped to silence and then like the cadence chord. I would just have gone like with smooth voice leading to that cadence personally. Yeah, it sounded like a prepared piano, like very non-perfect, if you can say that, which added to this romantic, nostalgic, classic atmosphere. Then we have the next one is Fran Luke, called Secret Cove 1. Sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Right, Fran Luke Secret Cove, whatever one. Really, this was super ambient on the ambient part of the spectrum, with lots of focus on the textures, atmospheric soundscapes, which creates this kind of, well, I'm not sure where I could place this personally, but I felt some of the textures were like super dense, like sizzling and rattling and like full-on sounds. Whereas you had this drone in the left side and the lead far back in the right side, which was a really unusual effect, to be honest, but really interesting as well. What did you guys think about it? So a cove or cove is a small bay or similar, usually with a narrow entrance, according to David. I have no idea. Jathan Sparks Music, welcome to this stream. May I know when the next music contest entry? I'm not sure why I wasn't aware of this one, as I am subscribed. So subscribed, well, this is, I'm not doing this on the YouTube channel per se. I'm doing the live stream of the final entries, but this is actually my forum that I created for composers of all styles of music. It's called forum.professionalcomposers.com. I believe you can actually see the link to it right now in the chat, because I have my Nightbot doing some work for me. So what you do is you simply go here, and if you're not yet a member, just sign up for free, and you will get access to connecting with lots of composers in here. Your questions and discussions on plugins, VST, studio gear, whatever, music theory. And here we have contests for composers, and right now in October we had the Ambient Music Contest. In September we had an Epic Trailer Music Contest, and it's still a secret what I'm going to do for November, but I'm hoping you guys will like it as well. So who was it? Jathan Sparks Music. Simply join the community here, the forum, and you will be able to be part of this next contest. So let's get back to this. I actually pinned the post for the Ambient Music Contest, and we're going ahead with, let's see, I'm just going to address David and Florent before I continue with Klaus. Are you still in the chat, Klaus? David, well, I don't know about purpose. It just happened due to erosion of the coast. Oh, so I totally got that wrong then. I thought you meant like a man-made structure like that for ships or whatever. So purpose, does nature have a purpose? Yeah. Florent, you're right. Unusual to have two different instruments on both sides. Yeah. Not unusual to have. Not that unusual to have two different instruments. You can have like comping piano, and comping guitar, like that. But then they are usually playing kind of the same thing, if not the exact overdub is the most usual. So, but having a lead here and on my right, and having a drone and some ambient texture as well, it was on the left side, actually created a greater width of the ambience, you can say, because you get more variation. Or are you listening to your right ear or your left ear? Which is your focus right now? Obviously, most people follow the lead. Yeah, Ethan, just join and be a part of the next contest. I want to have these once a month. And it's basically mainly to have something that we can do for a set purpose. Even though it's only one winner, I believe everyone that makes music, completes a track, is a winner by itself, because you evolve as a composer from experience. Let's see, David. They can make nice harbors, but I don't think nature planned that. Or perhaps, if you're believing, I believe the nature god. No. Let's not dive into some religious arguments here. Let's see. Klaus, yeah, it's your track next. So that was Fran Luke. try to remember these, and you can always listen back to them here in the forum to make up your mind when you vote. But I want you to vote preferably like by tomorrow, like so you have the entire day tomorrow to vote. Klaus Ferretti, The Curse 2. I imagine this will be kind of dark. Let's see. Right, Opsan, whoops. Opsan, as we say in Swedish. So, Klaus, really dark track. It's really interesting. I found that it was, no, of course not, it was not him whispering. It had like, some elements were there all the time, like the bass and the background pads, the dark groove, sound design groove, but then all the atmospheric textures were exchanged. I heard some water pouring, those whispers, that wind, what do you call it, like the the wind comes through some crack in the window or something. So it was actually a lot going on in the track that grabbed your interest, and then it changed over the course of the track. Really cool, Klaus. Let's see. Do you want to like mention something? What did you use for this track? Main plugins and instruments, synthesizers. And I will start playing the next track in the meantime. You can still answer in the chat. Axel Reiner's Sonnenschein Sands. Right, that was Axel Reiner's Sonnenschein Sands. Whoops. So, as I said in the chat here, really chill out ambient beat type type track that would suit like lounge music in a more with a more groovy vibe here. I really like the bass. It had a cool groove. I love when the bass doesn't like only do a straight note like in lots of orchestral music, or that it does like a straight grid da 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 or something. I like it when bass has a groove. Like one of my favorite bass lines ever is actually Michael Jackson's Black or White, I mean. Because I think it's a Moog, by the way, so it has like this little twist, like wee. I obviously cannot sound like a Moog bass, but take a listen to that track and you'll know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, I remember Enigma. I only have heard some tracks. I cannot remember any names, but really chill out music. So the next one is Alexei Pavlov, Coming Home. Really magical light atmosphere in this track. It had like a bell or toy piano. I suck at actually knowing the exact instruments used, but I just listened for the sound character, and to me it sounded like this high toy piano, like high pitched piano sound or something. How do I go back to the actual track? So, yeah, I don't know why it hides it here. So that was Alexei Pavlov, Coming Home. Oh, by the way, it had a really interesting actual crescendo in the end, which was a kind of a surprise, but it didn't feel too abrupt because it had actual slope in the crescendo. So, yeah, you heard Glockenspiel. Could be. I thought it had some more weight than a Glockenspiel and more resonance, because the Glockenspiel is just these small like plates, I think you hit on. So I believe this had some resonance to it, but not as much as a real piano. But that might just be me. So the final entry here is actually Florent again. Did you have another one? Yep, Nebula. And now we're going to Land of Nagrand. Please let us know what that is all about. What is Nagrand or Nagrand? And your creative vision for this track. Land of Nagrand, I don't know how to pronounce it, but that was Florent's second take here. Really nice, soft, spacey intro, and then that rich pad synth and the way background flute type sound, like took turns in which of them were the focus, or so I felt at least, and then sometimes they blended a bit with the lead sound, which I think was a really cool effect. And then you had also a bit of a crescendo, a bit of a, like, the ending had a climax there, but not super intense or anything, just something to build intensity for the cadence, I guess. So yeah, very nice sound. What was that lead pad synth sound, by the way? Because that had a really nice atmosphere. This was Florent's track. And what was the flute as well, or flute? It could be something else, but I'm just saying what I hear or feel when I listen to it. All right, guys and girls, if we have any girls on the stream. The pad is a big layer. Is it hardware synth or software? There's a string ensemble in Flautando. Oh yeah, I heard that it was a lot going on in the pad. Analog. Like an analog synthesizer, a hardware synthesizer. So I'm not going to play. I did this the last time I did it. I think I made the wrong choice to recap what we played. You can just go back and listen to them as in their entirety. Well, you know what I mean. So you can make your choices when you vote on all of these entries. So we had, if you just go through them, Jap Wizard, Enchanted Night, David Olsen's Purple Waves, Phil Jones, Beneath the Tidal Flow, and you can go through the rest yourself like so. Let's see, yeah, and the flute is in fact a voice doubling the soprano. Oh, I see. Yeah, all soft dynamics. I definitely felt it. It's something interesting, even if you increase the volume afterwards, like with a volume knob. When you use soft dynamics, you get a warmer, softer tone, even if you bring up the volume, which I personally think works best for ambient and atmospheric music. Let's see. Actually thinking about the next when I'm going to close this contest. I think I'm just going to leave it open till perhaps tomorrow evening, my time, which is, it's evening here now, by the way, so 24 hours or so, and then I will close this. So please, I'm just going to update this now. Please go in and leave your vote. We only have 3 voters so far, so we need way more to be able to draw any conclusions as to which of these entries won. Pianissimo, yeah, I'm personally a fan of, for ambient music, especially like PPP to around MP at the top. So that would be like perhaps 0 to around like 60, 65, perhaps somewhere around there, somewhere in the middle, 60, 65 in MIDI velocity. I actually have a guide. If you check here, if you're part of the forum, you have a resources for composers guides, and then I have, I thought I had it, but apparently I have not added it yet. I should have like a frequency or velocity guide somewhere. Well, I need to add it in that case. Pianissimo is PP, MIDI control is about 32. Yeah, around there. I actually found a guide There's no standard. Obviously, different software has different of this, but you get PPP, PP, P, and so on. And every single one of these Italian music terms. Were you from Italy, by the way, Florent? Your name sounds Italian to me. I think you were from Italy, so you know the terms in Italian, which are the basis for music. I'm actually a bit envious that you get like this all for free because it's your language. But you can translate that into MIDI velocity values, and I made a chart for my website, which I'm going to put up here in the forum. Oh, you're in France. Really? Ainardi. It sounds Italian to me. Is it not Italian like name? Is that a French name? Then in that case, I'm sorry. I'm obviously I'm really bad at names. But yeah, again, go in, have a listen to all the takes on your own, and then vote, please, guys. And then for the next competition, I'm going to announce it probably right after I close this. So tomorrow night. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I know it is Italian. Okay, so you have some roots there at least. Okay, so I don't know when I'm going to stream next time, but I will make sure to. By the way, if you want to catch my next stream, click whatever. I don't know how it works, YouTube notification bell or something. Or you can also go into my forum and really be active here. I recommend that you put my forum website here as a web browser link or bookmark, it's called, so you can check back and connect with composers daily. I'm in the forum daily, so if you want to ask any questions about music, plugins, VSTs, studio gear, music theory, composition, music business, licensing, libraries, everything, there's a place for it in the forum. All right, I'll see you guys next time. I'm trying to see where I can end the stream. All right, here it is. See you next time, guys.